So you're thinking about moving to Daytona Beach? Well, today we're going to cover one of the 3 top neighborhoods in Daytona Beach. So stick around, that's going to happen right now. Hey, this is Todd with Living in Daytona Beach. If this is your first time to the channel, go ahead, click subscribe and the bell so you're always notified when we have something new about living in Daytona Beach. Are you moving in 9 days to 9 months? Fantastic. Give us a call, give us a text, give us an email, set up a Zoom call, a Zoom video call. We talk to people just like you all the time so we can make your move memorable. We're going to look at one of the top 3 neighborhoods in Daytona Beach. So you can see right here, I'm going to kind of mark this with a pencil as far as where Daytona Beach is at. So it's right here, encompasses everything in Daytona Beach. So for all intents and purposes today, what we're going to focus on is number 3 in the top 3 as far as neighborhoods go. So we're going to go in and going to zoom in a little bit here. We're actually going to be on beachside. Right, if I can find it real quick, getting close, right there at the Seabreeze District. So I'm going to go ahead and mark this right here. You probably see Seabreeze District right here. Go from this street right here all the way down to right about here. Okay, so we've got all this right here, encompasses Seabreeze District. I want to zoom in just a tad bit. But before I do, I think it's very important to mention that this is beachside because look at this. This right here is the Halifax River. This right here is the Atlantic Ocean. This is your beachside. When everyone talks about beachside and Daytona Beach, this is what they're pertaining to, is beachside Daytona Beach. So all right, I'm going to zoom in a little bit, get some ideas here as far as showing you what is specific about this neighborhood. For one thing, again, get the little pencil out here, change the color a little bit, maybe blue, and I'm going to show you, change the size a little bit, 20%. Seabreeze Boulevard is right here. Because the Seabreeze Boulevard runs to, it's going to go westbound, and then you've got Oak Ridge Boulevard that comes in this direction here that goes eastbound. So one-way streets right here. Seabreeze Boulevard basically breaks these two in half. Interesting about Seabreeze Historic District right here is actually the oldest district, the oldest neighborhood actually in Daytona Beach. Actually was created in 1901. Actually, before Daytona Beach was actually considered a city. So I might reference, the southern part of Seabreeze Boulevard as opposed to the northern part of Seabreeze Boulevard. Why is that important? Well, the only reason it's really important is because this area right here is the main brain of Daytona Beach.
let's talk a little bit about what price points are going on here as far as housing goes. I'm going to go ahead and mark this again so you guys can see exactly how big Seabreeze is right here. Choose green. You can see a little bit better right here. Again, going all the way from here, all the way down to the ocean center and back up like so. So price points, I've seen everything from 299 all the way up. I've seen 900,000 in this area. Keep in mind that the majority of these homes were built in the 1920s, 1930s. So they're old. They're old, but a lot of upgrades have happened. And also realize that there's some homes in this area that actually operate as rentals as well. Now that could be that could be a con if you're thinking about you want to be in a neighborhood that doesn't have a bunch of rentals in it. But just know that this neighborhood, the Seabreeze District, historically, no pun intended, has a lot of rentals that are allowed in the area. So that might be a detractor for you, or it could be an attractor. It could be a pro because it actually gives you some income to think about. Now, up and near the $600,000 range, you're going to have a larger, I've seen 5-bedroom, 5-bath. I've seen up to close to 3,500 square feet. But again, we're talking about a 1930s home. With upgrades, typically a lot of these will have upgrades, stainless steel appliances. They'll have brand new flooring, brand new windows, built well. The 1920s, 1930s, they built homes well. So the bones are good in these homes.
So this is the part of Daytona Beach that is between the Halifax and the Atlantic Ocean. Now, one of our houses we have on our list is actually right behind me. You have a great 2-bedroom, 2-bath house, a little over 1,200 square feet, been updated, remodeled, and it is about $350,000. So it's a great way to get into the neighborhood and be part of the historic district. And what's nice about the neighborhood, of course, is it's real close by to all the activities. You have everything from miniature golf to Daytona Lagoon, which is a water park. You have access to the beach, which isn't real close. You kind of see behind me on this street here is you actually have some condos kind of blocking the way just a little bit, but there is some beach access within a half mile of both directions here. One of the areas that might be a detractor of this neighborhood is that there is really almost zero parking anywhere unless it's in your driveway. You can kind of see behind me as I turn around here, you're going to see some no parking signs right behind me. That is everywhere in the neighborhood. So if you're looking at moving to the Seabreeze Historic District, that could be a detractor to you. Now, what other things that are kind of interesting about this neighborhood is it has a great mixture of houses. There's no HOA, which is a huge plus, and you're going to find that the housing construction is very unique. No two houses are the same. So that's going to be a huge plus for a lot of people as well. The Seabreeze Historic District is actually broken into 2 sections, divided by Seabreeze Boulevard. So we're actually in the northern section right now. The last house we looked at was in the southern section. So the house we're looking at right now is a 5-bedroom, 4-bath. It's beautiful. It's a Spanish style home. It is a little over 2,800 square feet, and it comes in right at $600,000. So what's a little bit different about the northern part of Seabreeze Historic District? For one, right at the end, not even a block down from this home right here, is beach access. So you can actually make your way all the way to the beach. You can actually drive down onto the beach just by simply getting yourself a parking pass. Like I say before, beautiful home behind me, $600,000. A little bit quieter neighborhood, have a school across the street. They have no parking over here as well. And I should mention, it's not too strict and stringent. You can have a parking permit if you are a resident in the area. But if you have any visitors, just make them aware that they cannot park on the street anywhere or park on the side of the road anyplace. Again, great beach access. You also have plenty of shopping close by. You're close to all the entertainment, basically, that happens on Daytona Beach, at Daytona Beach. All right, we are back over on the south side of Seabreeze Boulevard. We are looking at the beautiful house down here. It actually is listed at $950,000, a little over 2,700 square feet. Actually has actually 4 units. It's a multifamily residency, so you could actually have it as your own if you wanted to just go ahead and take it as one residency, or actually turn it into a rental property. It has 3 of the 4 units already renovated. Stainless steel, hardwood, laminate, things of upgrades like that. Again, it's down here in the south part of Seabreeze Historic District. And again, it's close to the action. You do have to look and be aware of, like you see behind me, you have condos, but there is access down here. But this is down where everything happens. This is like the downtown Daytona Beach main area through here.
What you're going to find that's interesting about this neighborhood, which may be a pro and con, just knowing that because the Ocean Center is so close by, and that's a conference center, it gets extremely busy to the south side of Seabreeze Boulevard, because not only do you have the majority of what's going on in Daytona Beach, you have the beach, restaurants, all kinds of different activities going on. That Ocean Center is a huge complex. Anything from concerts to meetings to huge events. They do have their own parking area, but some people don't want to pay for parking, so they'll go other places like your street in Seabreeze Historic District to park. So you will find all over, you will find no parking, restricted parking, tenant parking only. And so a lot of that is marked off with, you'll have to get like an actual tag for your car that shows that you're supposed to park in that area. Now that's good and bad, because you're not going to have random people just parking by your house. However, it could be bad if you have people visiting you and they have no place to park, because a lot of these driveways, you might have room for 2 cars, maybe 3 if you're lucky, but there is no on-street parking unless you're actually a resident and have an official tag. So be aware of that. You don't want your friends visiting and all of a sudden their car is missing, or they get a hefty fine or a ticket. Okay, what else? Maybe other con might be to this is in this area right here, this zone, I'm going to mark this differently right here, southern zone right here. I'm going to make this red, extremely red, try to anyway. I'm going to make this red, maybe it's going to turn out pink. This zone right here, the southern zone of Seabreeze Historic District, that's going to be extremely busy. So do we ever have an off season as far as tourism goes? No, not really. February, you might be kind of slowed down, but as far as the summer months go, April, May, you start to ramp up. We have close to 10 million people visit Daytona Beach every single year. Some of that has to deal with the Daytona 500 or Bike Week, or you might have Jeep Week, but the majority of people are coming for the beach. And guess what? This district right here is smack dab in the main heart of Daytona Beach. So you might have a lot of foot traffic. It might be some foot traffic, people just walking around, trying to stretch their legs after going to the beach for a while, going to the restaurants, then making a way past your house. A lot of people might be walking past your house that you don't recognize, that are out of the area. Could be a detractor for you. Might get a chance to meet somebody new. So be aware of that as well. Let's take a peek at the north side of the Seabreeze District. Let me go ahead and just mark this out like so we have an idea of where we're going here. Oop, got a little wild there. So a little bit quieter, but not too quiet. So that could be a pro or a con for you as far as moving to the area. You're going to find a lot better access to different things here. For instance, if I can zoom in here, let me move this around. That's going to move my stuff a little bit. That's not going to work. Let me go ahead and erase this right here. I'm going to show you right here actually is Riverview Boulevard beach access. So that actually is a drive beach. They're still working on that from the storms a year ago, but there is still some parking in that area. So basically, if you live right in this section right here, this right here, or even Jasmine down here in Glenview, you have great beach access. But remember, it's still busy. And you have the Quality Inn right here. You have Best Western. You have La Quinta right here. You have the Hard Rock Hotel. I mean, so there are some pretty established hotels in that area. Lots of people, lots of concentration of people on the beach. But if you like people, that's a great option for you. Other things too, you've got Collins Park over here on the riverside, so a little bit quieter if you want to get yourself away a little bit. If you have a golf cart, this is a great little community. You can buzz around here as far as golf carts go. You have the theater, the Daytona Playhouse is right next to this neighborhood. That you have this main highway, A1A right here, that runs the length of the coastline. So that's where everyone's traveling to. So could be a great pro for you, could be a con. It can be extremely busy. 2 lanes of traffic, both directions. That's where everyone travels. A lot of people go up and down. If there's ever an event, let's say like Bike Week or Jeep Week, especially Bike Week, that is just jam-packed with motorcycles up and down. Happens 2 times a year, Bike Week. So that is something to be aware of as well.